Understanding yourself changes everything. Sometimes the hardest thing is not changing your life. It is understanding yourself. We try to fix problems quickly, but we rarely stop and ask, why do I feel this way? This video is not here to judge you. It is here to sit with you quietly and help you understand what's happening inside. If you feel confused, tired, or emotional, it does not mean something is wrong with you. It means you are human. Your mind is not broken. It is reacting to what you've been through. Understanding this simple truth can already bring a little peace. Emotions are messages. Every feeling you have is trying to tell you something. Sadness asks for care. Anger asks for boundaries. Fear asks for safety. When you listen instead of fighting your emotions, they slowly become calmer. Understanding your feelings changes how you treat yourself. Why you feel tired. Sometimes you feel tired, not because you did too much, but because you carried too much inside. Unspoken thoughts, unexpressed feelings, silent pressure. When you understand this, you stop blaming yourself and start being kinder to your mind. Self-understanding is strength. Many people think strength means ignoring pain, but real strength is different. Real strength is being honest with yourself, admitting when something hurts, allowing yourself to slow down. When you understand yourself, you no longer need to pretend, and that is powerful. You stop reacting, you start choosing. Without understanding yourself, life feels like constant reaction. But when you understand your thoughts, your triggers, your patterns, you gain choice, you choose how to respond. You choose what matters. Understanding yourself gives you control. Quietly. Growth is gentle. Growth does not always feel exciting. Sometimes it feels quiet. Sometimes it feels slow. But understanding yourself means you stop rushing your healing. You trust the process. You allow growth to happen naturally, in its own time. Peace comes from acceptance. Peace is not the absence of problems. Peace comes from acceptance. When you understand yourself, you stop fighting who you are. You stop comparing your journey to others. You start walking your own path calmly. Everything begins to change. Your relationships change. When you understand your needs, your decisions change. When you understand your values, your life changes. When you understand yourself, nothing outside needs to change first. The change begins within. Take your time. You are learning yourself. Understanding yourself changes everything. Not loudly, not suddenly, but deeply and forever. Be patient with your mind. Be gentle with your heart. You are becoming stronger in a quiet and beautiful way. Sitting with yourself. At some point in life, you stop running from yourself, not because everything is solved, but because you are tired of pretending that you don't feel what you feel. Understanding yourself begins when you allow silence, not empty silence, but honest silence. This is where you notice how your body reacts, how your thoughts repeat, how your heart holds things you never said out loud. Most people never sit here. They distract themselves. They stay busy. They avoid this moment. But this moment, this quiet meeting with yourself, is where real understanding begins. Why you became the way you are. You did not become this way by accident. Every habit, every reaction, every emotional wall was once a form of protection. Your mind learned how to survive before it learned how to rest. When you understand this, you stop judging yourself. You stop asking, why am I like this? And you start saying, I understand why I needed this. Self-understanding turns blame into compassion. And compassion is healing, learning to be gentle with your thoughts. Not every thought you have deserves your belief. Some thoughts come from fear. Some come from old pain. Some come from exhaustion. Understanding yourself means learning how to listen without obeying every thought. You can notice a thought without becoming it. You can feel an emotion without letting it control you. This is emotional maturity. This is inner strength. A calm mind is not a silent mind. It is a kind one. You are allowed to change slowly. Healing is not a race. Growth is not a performance. Understanding yourself means giving yourself permission to change slowly, to rest when needed, to grow without pressure. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where your understanding has brought you. When you stop forcing yourself, your nervous system relaxes, your mind softens, and real change begins. The quiet power of self-trust. When you truly understand yourself, something very powerful happens. You begin to trust yourself, not because you know everything, but because you know you can handle what comes. You stop seeking constant approval. You stop explaining your journey. You walk forward quietly, with clarity and calm. Understanding yourself doesn't change everything overnight. It changes everything forever. And that is the most beautiful kind of change, meeting yourself without fear. There comes a moment when you stop being afraid of yourself. You no longer run from your thoughts. You no longer push your feelings away. You sit with them not to fix them, but to understand them. Understanding yourself means realizing that nothing inside you is your enemy. Even the parts you don't like were once trying to protect you. When you see this, fear slowly turns into acceptance, and acceptance brings peace. The difference between awareness and judgment. Many people think they understand themselves, but they are actually judging themselves. Awareness says, I notice this feeling. Judgment says, I shouldn't feel this way. Understanding yourself means replacing judgment with curiosity, asking gently, where did this come from? What do I need right now? When judgment leaves, your mind feels safer, and a safe mind can finally heal. When you stop fighting yourself, so much exhaustion comes from fighting who you are, fighting your sensitivity, fighting your past, fighting your emotions. Understanding yourself means you stop the inner war. You stop forcing happiness. You stop pretending strength. You allow yourself to be real, and when the fight ends, your energy returns. Emotional clarity changes your life. When you understand your emotions, your life becomes clearer. You know when to rest. You know when to speak. You know when to walk away. Emotional clarity is not about control. It's about wisdom. You no longer react from wounds. You respond from understanding. This changes relationships. This changes decisions. This changes everything. Becoming your own safe place. The deepest form of understanding is becoming safe for yourself, a place where your mind can rest, a place where your heart is heard, a place where you don't need to hide. When you understand yourself, you carry peace with you, no matter where life takes you. And slowly, gently, you realize this truth. You were never lost. You were learning yourself. Understanding yourself is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming honest, honest about what you feel, honest about what you need, honest about who you are becoming. When you understand yourself, you stop running from your life. You stop waiting to be saved. You stop asking the world to explain you. You become your own clarity, your own strength, your own safe place. Nothing outside changes immediately, but everything inside settles. And from that calm place, your life begins to move forward naturally. Understanding yourself does not make life easy. It makes life true. And when your life is true, you no longer feel lost. You simply continue with calm courage and quiet confidence. If this video helped you feel a little calmer, a little more understood, you are not alone. Take a moment to breathe. And if you'd like to continue this quiet journey of understanding yourself, you're welcome to stay, subscribe, and follow for more gentle thoughts, calm psychology, and quiet strength. Thank you for being here. Take care of your mind,